Do 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 do. Hey, how's it going? It's Nancy Gamon. I was just getting ready to make some fun little bracelets out of parts of neckties that usually get thrown away, the necktie linings and the labels. Let me show you how it's done. To make this project, you need necktie lining, necktie labels, a little piece of elastic that's 3/8 inches wide, thread, straight pins, scissors, and a sewing machine and everything that goes with it. However, you can make some substitutions. If you don't have necktie lining, you could use a little piece of an old blanket or a small scrap of fleece. If you don't have necktie labels, you could use labels from another article of clothing instead. And if you don't have a sewing machine, you could hand sew. So the necktie bracelet is a little funny in that you probably want to customize it to fit your own wrist. I'm going to give you the measurements that fit my wrist, and that'll give you a starting point, but you may need to monkey around with it a little bit to find what custom fits you best. So I'm going to start with 7.5 inches of this lining piece. And I'm going to use 1 3/8 inches of elastic, and I've already cut that to size. And I'm going to arrange the necktie labels on the fabric in a design that feels appealing, but I'm going to flip them over because it's actually the back side of the labels that we're going to use for this. And I kind of already picked out some labels that had coordinating colors, and I'm just going to look for some patterns and shapes that appeal to me. I thought I might try making something that had more than just one row of labels, maybe 3 rows, since I hadn't tried that before. And I'm just going to lay them out. So that looks pretty good. It's okay to have the labels hanging off the end. I'll trim those later. Now I'm just going to pin them in place. This is more just to keep them in the order that I have them. I may squiggle them around a little bit once I start sewing. Now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to make a lot of stitches around and around and around the labels to get them secured onto the lining. Alright, that looks pretty secure. So I'm just going to trim along the edges of the labels here, and also trim off any extra that's peeking out on the side. Next I'm going to zigzag all the way around the edges to secure the frayed bits. Now I'm going to sew the elastic onto the back side of the bracelet. When I was making the thinner bracelets that just had one strip of labels, one piece of elastic worked fine, but with this thicker bracelet, I think I'm going to want 2 pieces. So I'm just kind of centering the elastic on the edge there, and I'm going to zigzag to secure that end, and then I'm going to put the other piece down at the bottom and zigzag across that. Now I'm going to align the edges and pin this little piece of elastic kind of where I want it to be. It's going to be a little bit tricky getting this under the sewing machine just because of how it's shaped. But I think I can coax it in there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end here with this piece. Pinning it seemed to work pretty well, so I'll try that again. And there you have it, a funky little necktie label bracelet. Hey listen, if you like the idea of a necktie label bracelet, but you don't have time to make one yourself right now, head on over to nancygamon.com, where you can check out the current selection.